Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we have a couple of really interesting subjects to cover. We have, for example, BitBoy tripling down on his idea. It's about to be really cool. We also have some fake news and some interesting conversational pieces. So once more, stick around and please, guys, press that like button to help the channel out a little bit. But all right, so Jeremy Hogan just posted this over on Twitter. So just throwing this out there, the schedule for the SEC to submit its initial brief on the privileged documents and provide unredacted copies to the judge is September 14th, which coincides perfectly with BitBoy's prediction that the case settles in mid-September. The digital asset investor also, or I should actually say, was the person who posted this over on his Twitter. And guys, it is very interesting to read this and see this and listen to it because I've told you guys before, in no way, shape, or form am I hating on BitBoy. He's very successful. We should all admit that. He has a pretty big influence over the crypto space. I think he's the most followed crypto guy out there. And I mean, his guys know crypto to a certain degree, right? The only thing which I sometimes question is what his intentions are. Then again, I think most people have the same intentions, which is in his specific scenario is getting as much attention as possible, albeit controversial, albeit not completely researched. It is getting attention and growth, and ultimately, potentially, also the profit and money and whatever. But mostly growth. And him going full bullish on XRP is most likely just a marketing move that works out prosperously. It works out well because a lot of people in the XP community used to despise him for being against XRP, and so again, a lot of those guys weren't following him. Now that he's opened up towards it though, again, bam, that allows for a couple 100,000 extra followers just for being bullish on it. So from his perspective, there's no reason to hate something if you're just bullish on every single thing. You have a lot more people, you can sell a lot more. So this video right now is pretty interesting. Let's watch it together. Let's actually go quickly from the start again to make sure the sound is good.
And once this happens,
I messed up again.
And once this happens, this is the bombshell that will end the case. When they find out that the commissioners of the SEC or employees of the SEC have been trading XRP during this time, everything will go out the window. Because then you know what it does? Then it puts them at risk. And they're not going to be willing to do that. That's why this case, hear me now, this case is already over. The settlement process has already begun.
And that's also a difficult thing to really grasp right now because he's saying the case is already over, a settlement is already in the works. Guys, put down below, do you think that the SEC and Ripple are right now as we speak already going over a settlement? And the reason I'm asking you guys that is because I have put up a couple of theories myself that it could be, all right, it is feasible that Ripple and the SEC could come to a conclusion because they both have something which they want to get done. And honestly, it could also be that the SEC does not want the judge to see these secrets or does not want to give out any of this Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP info, and thus settling is in their best interest and option. Then again, reading everything we've basically seen, for example, the depositions of Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson on the 14th, I believe, and 20th, as an example, and also some of the most recent papers, it all just doesn't really showcase that a settlement in September is likely. Just, it doesn't really make too much sense to me, but all right.
This is over. This will not go on much longer. You are now starting to understand. You are now figuring out why Ripple is beating the SEC like a dog, like a bad, misbehaved dog that it is. Because they already know all the holes in the case because he was the director of enforcement is actually what Andrew Seresny was.
And also here, I'm wondering, does he read this off? Like, has it been written down? Because they do have some sort of time flaps right there. Is it like written, what he's going to say? Or is this just out of his head? I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much. I'm just wondering if they thought this through or if it's just going on the flow. Because from a certain perspective, he's kind of right in the sense that it looks more towards settlement than not to. Then again, drawing a conclusion like that is so scary in the crypto space. You just can't do that. And I think it's very unprofessional. Once more, I think it's too much hype and not enough fact.
Between Mary Jo White and Andrew Seresny, These guys know everything that the SEC did during this time they shouldn't have been doing. Why do you think Ripple knows exactly where to go and where to attack? They got inside people. They know.
Yes, and once more no. I mean, obviously, in almost any lawsuit in the history of lawsuits, you're going to attack to whatever point you can win on. And the same thing for the SEC, right? Do they got inside people? No, but they go for depositions. So they basically question Ripple employees, and, well, piece by piece, they find out what to ask. You might think, oh, Ripple's got some ex-SEC guys in there, so they know where to attack. Yes, and subsequently no. Once more, this happens in every single lawsuit, and you're going to fight on exactly what points you can fight. The thing is, guys, Ripple is not just fighting for themselves, but they're fighting for the future of crypto, and they're fighting for the way that crypto is basically just seen from the SEC's perspective. A lot of these things are not even known by Mary Jo White or any of these other SEC members because literally it's all a mystery. I would like to bet here and put up that even the SEC doesn't exactly know what the SEC's opinion is on things because all of them disagree and don't know on these matters. And so once more, claiming a settlement might come out of that is too quick. But claiming that it's a freaking big mess and that the SEC will piece by piece crumble or that Ripple will really go on a freaking home run strike with this, yeah, I don't think that's too far from the truth. Now, I want to leave this in the past, except for saying that Jeremy Hogan had another couple of words to make foul on this, I believe. I'm not exactly sure where it was anymore, but I think he said some more stuff about it. Let's quickly see here. So, Captain XRP said, pretty sure the SEC has a few more rabbits to pull out of its hat before the show is over, sadly. I think so. Jeremy said, if settlement is announced anytime in September, I will sing his praises from the rooftops. I have no ego, but I do own XRP, which I think was pretty funny in that regard. All right, guys, let me move over into the fake news that I was talking about just now. Why the SEC might have just dealt a tremendous blow to Ripple. I don't really want to give it too much attention, guys. This is just dumb. It's just stupid. The SEC, by getting Ripple's Slack messages, ain't got nothing on them, if you were to ask me. We were already expecting the Slack messages to be given over, and even then, is it a small victory for the SEC? Yes. Does it matter in the grand scheme of things? 99% certain it won't, because, well, the judge in the most recent hearing once more emphasized on objectiveness versus subjectiveness. All these Slack messages are important if the SEC wants to attack the marketing efforts of Ripple and whatnot. Then again, what is more important are the internal SEC policies and whether or not those guys held Bitcoin and whatnot in XRP. Because ultimately, if they didn't know themselves, it doesn't matter whatever Ripple is discussing inside or in those messages. It doesn't matter. Even if they said, oh, I think it's a security, let's keep the price up there. It doesn't matter. Because if the rules weren't there, if the SEC didn't know, then whatever Ripple thought is just a meaning. All right, it's just a subjective little thing. A meaning? It's in Dutch is a meaning. How do you say it? Like a opinion. There we go. An opinion piece. It's just an opinion. But you can't do anything that without following the law. Because recklessness, for example, or even selling unregistered securities can only be so if the law shows that it is so, right? If you just think, oh, that's reckless, but there's no law for it, then whatever you think doesn't matter. And that's what the judge was really hammering on. So this Slack message situation is not going to do anything bad for Ripple at all. And if it does, it'll most likely be some really, really key piece of info. But there's a very good chance they're not going to find anything too crazy like that. Now, here was the crypto uprising the SEC didn't see coming. One thing we also shouldn't forget is how right now this battle is already way longer and way broader than any member I think was actually expecting. You know, one of the most interesting pieces that is going on right now, it is actually this interrogatories filing, because Ripple right now is asking the SEC to basically clarify what exactly they are breaching in terms of the Howey. And these two things which you just mentioned really coincide. The fact that it's right now the objective approach, so, recklessness or whatever have to be shown objectively, plus the fact that the SEC's internal policies are being questioned and whether or not they basically had rules or not from 2018 forward, and Ripple's questioning right now with what exactly they are doing wrong and when the SEC decided that. Because ultimately, if they find some sort of difficulty in the answers there, for example, if the SEC says they knew you were doing something wrong in 2017, yet their internal policies didn't change until 2019, for example, that's pretty strange, right? If the SEC members could trade XRP until 2019, yet in 2017 the SEC thought that XRP was already a security, that is strange. And that the judge will see, and that she will question. If The SEC was investigating Ripple for 3 years, but once more, never had a proper idea within themselves. Then how could Ripple have known? And all of that is all coming together. I am extremely bullish and way more bullish on the lawsuit than I ever was throughout the entire process here because of everything we're seeing in the last couple of weeks here. It's just been really nice. Now, in terms of price, I'm going to also once more say, guys, things are building nicely. We got a good little higher low being built right now. Pretty bullish on that entire situation. Can we fall back down from here from hitting about 130 now coming back? Yes. I don't think we're going to go too far below $1.20 though, depending on what Bitcoin is going to do, but I don't really think so. And earlier, I wanted to talk about many different breakout scenarios and ideas, but we already broke out and we're already on top of it, so why would I even waste my time? I think, let's quickly see. Here was Ripple's Twitter. From access to new corridors to faster low-cost remittances, Ripple is helping hundreds of financial institutions around the world deliver a better cross-border payment experience. Take a look at their stories. I'll get that to you guys a little bit later today. But still, I'm not exactly sure what corridors Ripple has thus far. I find it so difficult to find it exactly. We can get hints, yes, but on their website it says 5, yet on every other website we check, we can find at least 6. So I'm wondering which ones are live. Then, if you guys were worried about it, well, there's really not too much going on. There's a ton of XRP transfers going around right now, but ultimately, guys, a lot of these transfers don't mean much, and every time the XRP price pumps, people are just setting money around, right? But very often, these transfers, like right here, are bullish ones, because they're taking their money off of an exchange to an unknown wallet for these 3, which is usually nice, and that's, again, already a nice little 10 million XRP or so. Here was also some big XRP transfers of 126 million, transferred by Ripple to ODL corridors and top exchanges. Once more, this could be good, could be neutral. We don't really know. But every time XRP is transferred from an exchange to an unknown wallet, that is good, right? At least that is following the books pretty good. So, yeah. All right, guys, that was it for today's video. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out BitBoy for some cool trading bonuses. Adios, amigos.